In my previous tutorial, I made a video on how to cut and sew this trendy jumbo Ankara pants with elastic waistband and rope. And I mentioned in that video that in my next tutorial, I'll be uploading how I made the waistband with elastic and rope. I did not talk about it in that video because I want to talk about it like extensively in another video, and here is the video. If you've not seen that video, I'll be putting the link up and also down so that you can check it out. Hi, my name is Oluwato saying, in case this is my first video that you are coming across, and you're welcome. To all my returning subscribers, you're also welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by today's video. Now, from where I stopped in that video, after shaping my trouser, the next thing is to attach the waistband. So firstly, I'll be measuring where the band is entering, which is the waist. What I have here is 32. You can measure it one by one round, but I just measured front and back together, and what I have is 32. So I'll be multiplying it by 2 because my trouser is on fold of 2 while I measure. Then the band will be 2.5 inches wide. The elastic inside is actually going to be 2 inches, but there will still be like a little bit space. So in total, the band will be 2.5 inches wide. And because I need half-inch allowance to attach it to the trouser, that's why I'll be cutting 3. And because it has to be on fold of 2 before I can attach it to the trouser, that's why I'll be cutting 6. So in total, I will cut a piece that is 6 inches wide and then 64 inches long. But I need 1 inch allowance to stitch it together. That's why it will be 65 inches long. So now that it is on fold of 2, I'm marking 32 and a half long by 6 inches wide. The next thing to do is to join this together. After joining together, I opened it up like this and then I folded it into 2. You remember that this waistband will have rope. That means there should be an opening where the rope will come out from. And to achieve that, just mark the middle, the midpoint first, which is 3. Then you're going to mark 1 inch downward. After that 1 inch, you mark another 1 inch. First 1 inch, then another 1 inch. That means you are going to be stitching from up to that first 1 inch. Then you will skip the second 1 inch. From that second 1 inch, you will stitch it straight to the whole length of the band. I hope my explanation is clear. Stitch 1 inch downward, skip 1 inch, then you stitch the remaining 4 inches. Remember, it is 6 inches in total. When you are done stitching that, you have like 1 inch opening. The next thing to do is to just flip it to the wrong side, and then you are going to neatly fold on both sides. The 1 inch that you've used to join it, you fold on both sides, you stitch it down, you do the same thing to the other side. I hope that is clear. When you are done doing this, what is next is to fold this piece they are using for the band into 2. You can proceed to pressing it with your pressing iron. I have another video of this jumbo Ankara pants on my channel whereby I fixed this band in another way. I fixed it in an invisible way. That way that you'll not be seeing the joining. The trouser will be in between the band. If you're interested in seeing that, the link is showing right now up, and it will be down in the description box as well. So when you are done, don't forget that this band automatically has front. The part where that 1 inch opening is the front. Please don't face it to the back. So you are going to face your band to the trouser and then you sew it round. Ensure that the part where that 1 inch is facing outside while you are joining. That will be the part that will be facing the trouser while you join. So you're going to just sew it round. Then you skip like 2 inches that you will not sew. Let these 2 inches be at the back, preferably. That's the part through which the elastic will be passed into the band. So after joining my band to the trouser, this is what it's looking like at this point. Now this is the elastic we'll be using. This elastic is actually 1 inch, but remember I said that the elastic will be 2 inches. If you have access to 2 inches elastic, you can just proceed to using that. But in my case, I'll be cutting 2 of this and I'll be joining it. To know the quantity of elastic that will be enough, once your trouser is on fold of 2 like this, Just fold your elastic two on fold of two, and then you cut out that length. Trouser should be on fold of two, the elastic should be on fold of two, and you just cut it out. I'll be cutting two of this because I'll be joining it together before passing it into the band, because I want it to be a very bold band. As you can see, the band is 2 inches wide. So as you are joining your elastic, if you are using this type of elastic, if there will be a need for you to join your elastic just like I'm doing, please, as you are joining it, stretch it. Don't just join. As you are joining, stretch your elastic very well to the maximum before joining. So as you are joining, you are going to be stretching, and when you are done joining, just put your elastic into your safety pin and pull that 2 inches that you left unsewn while you were sewing the band to the trouser. You pass the elastic. Please, if at this point you are still with me, consider subscribing, and don't just subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you get notified the next time I upload a new video on this channel. After passing the elastic into the band, the next thing is to stitch the elastic together. So you're just going to lap it on each other. Don't just join it, lap it on each other. That way it prevents it from like breaking up, like cutting inside the band. So just lap it on each other, and then you stitch it very well. Stitch it like 3 to 4 places, as firm as possible. And when you are done stitching the elastic, you just release it and let it go round into the band, and then you arrange your band very very well, and you stitch back that 2 inches that you left unsewn while you were attaching the band to the trouser. Hope what I'm trying to say is clear. Now when you are done sewing that 2 inches, the next thing to do is we are going to be sewing on this band while the elastic is inside. When you are done, just arrange your band very very well. Stretch this band to the maximum with this elastic that is inside. Stretch it to the highest it can stretch, and you are going to be pinning it in 4 places. I pinned it in 2 places, but I would advise that you pin yours in 4 places, one at the center front, the other one at the center back, and two on each side. In my case, I just pinned the side, but if you know that you are not familiar with this, please pin it in 4 places so that the front will not end up being at the side while when you are done sewing your trouser. So I stretched mine and I pinned the 2 sides. Like I said, you can pin 4 sides, front, back, and then the 2 sides. After pinning, take this to your sewing machine and then you start sewing. In my case, I did 2 lines on this band. You can as well do 3 lines. So starting from the center front where that 1 inch opening is, you are going to stitch round on the band with the elastic, and as you are stitching, don't forget to stretch the elastic to the maximum. Stretch it very very well before you stitch it. So I stitched off, then I skipped that 1 inch and I stitched down. After that second line, you can still put a third line if your elastic is as wide as mine. That's if you are using 2 inches just like me, you can sew it 3 times. But in my case, I just did 2 lines of sewing. When you are done doing this, the next thing is to sew your rope. For this rope, you can use that shoelace, that rope they use in lacing shoes, and you can sew your Ankara rope by yourself. In my case, I actually sew mine, but you can as well use that shoelace. Now, if you want to sew, just measure like 3 times your waist measurement. Like me, my waist is 32. I measure 32 in 3 places, and the wideness is not up to 1.5 inch. Please cut it as tiny as possible so that your rope won't end up being wider than that 1 inch that you left for it to come out from. I hope my explanation is clear. And sew that and just pass it into the 1 inch that you have created. If your rope is tinier than the 1 inch, it will not give you problem going round, But if you made your rope bigger, you might have to sew another one. Just make sure that your rope is as tiny as possible so that it can easily and comfortably, without stress, go through that 1 inch. And that is it for the cutting and the sewing and the attaching of this big elastic waistband. I hope that this video has been helpful to someone. If it has been, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. If you have any question, kindly ask me down in the comment section. And in case you are watching me and you've still not subscribed, please consider subscribing, and don't just subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you get notified when next I upload a new video on this channel. As much as you can, kindly share my video amidst your soulmate. Thank you for sticking with me from the beginning of this tutorial till this point, and I will see you in my next video. You can as well check out these videos that are currently showing on your screen. And like I mentioned earlier, don't forget that the actual cutting and sewing of this trouser is, the link to it is down in the description box below. I also have another video that the band is just 1 inch wide and it does not have rope like this one. If you're interested in seeing that, check the description box below as well. Bye.